steakhouse crew brought me out of my shell. I was able to become my true self, working with people that didn't know me or label me, making friends from the rival school. Those house parties were cool. Hard on my birthday, I learned fast and earned a raise. I vacuumed the dining room floors and cleaned the brass by the front doors. I filled salt and pepper shakers after being promoted to a waiter. They called my section a lucky charm. I carried 5 plates in one arm, never letting a refill drop to just ice. I was super nice. I bought my first car cruising on Maine with my main. I was top chef in the buffet. We were always whipping up things, from soft shell pizzas and cubed onion rings to deep fried donuts out of dinner rolls. We went from ice bucket pranks to rising up the ranks. He taught me the value of hard work. I miss those basketball games after work.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your girl Shantelly. For everybody new, welcome. First off, I just want to start off for apologizing that it's been so long since I made my last video. Life just kind of hit me hard at the end of last year, and I knew, like, you know how I've been going through the different song genres. We did fun songs, flirty, self-love, breakup. This one's life and family, and I knew this one was going to hit me hard, so I kind of postponed filming it for a little bit just to get caught up on work and personal life and everything. And then all of a sudden, something unforeseen happened. On Thanksgiving Day, I woke up to the news that my grandmother had died, and that pretty much just destroyed me for the rest of the year. So I haven't really posted on social media or anything since her funeral. I kept recording and doing, things privately, but even with that, I had to take a small break. So originally, my new album was going to come out in January, and I really just had to take a break. So I just finished the album recently and just got it uploaded for release. And so it will premiere March 7th, but I just had to take a break and focus on myself and to grieve, So anyway, a lot of the songs that I've written before talk about my life and family. And then definitely when you tune into the new album, Television Volume 3, you'll hear more just about the ups and downs and everything. I'm going to try my best not to cry through this, but sometimes, yeah, it might happen. So anyway, this one, out of all the ones you're going to see, is the hardest one for me to film. So let me try to do my best, and let's share my screen. So the first song for Life and Family is something lighthearted. It's called Black Cherokee. And I really love it because on my mother's side, her grandmother was full Cherokee Indian. And, of course, looking at me, of course, I'm Black, right? But growing up Black in America is so interesting, when you learn about your heritage and everything. A lot of Black Americans aren't fully Black, it turns out there's white, there's Native American, there's this, there's that. And it's very interesting just to trace your roots and learn about all sides of you. So the Cherokee side of me is something I was always yearning for, but unfortunately, my great grandmother was, dead before I was born. And so I don't really have that many people of that part nearby, So I wanted to learn all that I could about Cherokee Nation. So I started working on learning the alphabet, then a prayer, then this, then that. And so for me, how I learn, I give myself a project. So this is my project. I wrote Black Cherokee just a little bit to play with the language a little bit, and I really like it. So let's see what you think. And this footage is from Cherokee Park in Louisville, Kentucky.
Galu, lohi, gimi, duda, nuda, wagi, nilisi, elo, higi.
I think when you see my hair darker, a lot of times, especially in the winter with my hair darker, I look paler. But this one wasn't necessarily winter. It was cold spring. So I still had some reddish tints. to my skin, and you can really see like the cheekbones shining through, and so you can kind of tell the Native American side of me when my hair is darker.
Nije Gali Eliga Siki Nigeyu Osa Lige Liga.
And don't worry, pay attention to the end and you'll see what these words are.
You love my high cheekbones and upturned nose, the red Cherokee moles on my skin, and all
the red Cherokee moles on my skin. I remember going to the dermatologist a few years back, and I was like, hey, what are these red marks? These red, I didn't know if it was even a mole. These red marks were all over like my abdomen, arms, thighs, and I went to the dermatologist to see what was going on. Like, are these ant bites? What is this? And the doctor was like, you happen to have any Native American? And I said, yes, on my mom's side. And they were like, well, that's Cherokee moles. And usually people with Native American roots will have these. And then, so, I mean, as soon as I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, that was pretty cool. And now, since then, even more have been appearing. So, hey.
almost shaped little eyes. I'm dipped in milk chocolate, bronzed in elegance, enameled with grace and toasted with beauty. I'm native to America. Kentucky's my roots. We must honor the past by knowing one's ancestors and preserving our culture.
We must honor the past by knowing one's ancestors and preserving the culture.
I love my strong connection with the land, how I tend my garden, growing vegetables and herbs for both food and medicine. I'm proud of the blood that runs through my veins.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always had a green thumb. Like, you give me a plot of land and I can grow whatever vegetable is needed.
Proud of the history of my people, proud of my strong family ties and deep connection to my community. You love how I value education and possess humor. You love how my spirituality provides hope, how I start the day facing east and give thanks to the 7 directions, from east to south, west, north, up to the sky, down to Mother Earth, and inwards towards ourselves. I highly regard the owl and the cougar. Through music, art, sports, and dance, I share my time, talent, and treasures. My integrity, honesty,
music, art, sports, dance. That's my loves.
Perseverance, courage, respect, trust, honor, and humility are what builds my character.
Sky, our grandfather.
Sky, our grandfather.
Moon, our grandmother.
Moon, our grandmother. Elo, Higi, Nije.
Earth, our mother.
Earth, our mother. Black Cherokee, baby. Black Cherokee. Kali, Eliga.
I am thankful.
Sigi, Nigeyu.
We love each other.
We love each other. Osa, Lige, Liga.
We are grateful.
We are grateful. Love me, only. Nobody loves me like you love me. Only. Nobody knows me like you know me.
Okay, that's Black Cherokee. The next song for the life and family genre is Workaholic. I wrote this one last year, and I went on a trip for work, and you know me, I got stuck in like 2-hour traffic in Washington, D.C. I'm not going to let any time go to waste, so I just pulled out my camera and started filming myself in the car while in the tunnel, while driving, just whatever I needed to film the scenes. So here we go.
Tonight you're mine. I'll be coming home tonight. No more red lights. No stop signs. Tonight you're mine. I'll be coming home tonight.
This is the second most favorite song of my mom's. There's me literally in the car driving in Washington, D.C., leaving the hotel, headed to the Capitol.
No more red lights. I'm a workaholic, but I'll be coming home tonight. It's always been my true blue. I loved it before I even knew you.
That's me at the hotel, then here I am in the car, and I just literally was driving and just had to phone up like that and waiting at the light.
Trusted before I ever loved you. It's always pay me in green. It's never ugly, never mean, never biased, just like a machine. With it, I can be myself and stack up my wealth. You know me, I stay conscientious, never anxious. I'm always organized, no need to lie, cause you know I'm the prize. Tonight you're mine. I be coming home tonight. I'm not stopping. No excuses. I'll be coming home tonight. Don't worry, baby, I'm not flirting. I'm just extroverted. If you really think work is my addiction, then I need you to reward my ambition. And don't forget, you always said how much you loved and I'm driven. So now I'm on my way home to you for some healing.
I was trying to rewind it just a drop right there. That's me stuck in the tunnel on the way back.
For some healing. Tonight you're mine. I'll be coming home tonight. No more red lights. No stop signs. Tonight you're mine. I'll be coming home tonight. No more red lights. I'm a workaholic, but I'll be coming home tonight. Even though I'm successful, you know that I'll never neglect you. And in order to honor and respect you, I'll never neglect myself. Self-care.
In order to honor and respect you, I'll never neglect myself. Self-care is a key to better health and better wealth.
It's the key to better health and greater wealth. It's the key to find ourselves and further depth. Forget neurotic or psychotic. I won't do it all. I'll have some on call. We're in it for the long haul. Together we share the load. But baby, I need you to follow that same code. Stay patient and don't explode.
Stay patient and don't explode.
Tonight you're mine. I'll be coming home tonight. I'll be present. You have my full attention. I'll be coming home tonight. Tonight both our needs are getting met. Are you even ready yet? A little sexy, a little tease, a little bit of you on your knees. And baby, I am pleased. And not just tonight, but for the rest of our lives. Less hesitation, more communication, less isolation, more stimulation.
I don't know if y'all heard that. Let me rewind that for you.
A little bit of you on your knees, and baby, I am pleased. And not just tonight, but for the rest of our lives. Less hesitation, more communication, less isolation, more stimulation. I'll be coming home tonight. No more red lights. No stop signs.
Okay, that's Workaholic. Next one, chopped liver. I learned this phrase like a few years ago because I was like, it was something like, what am I, chopped liver? And I'm like, what does that mean? Then ever since I learned what that phrase meant, yeah, I can see it used so many times, like where people treat others as chopped liver. Like they love this friend, they want to hang with this friend, blah, 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 until somebody else comes along. Then it's like, oh, never mind. You know, so yeah, I hate people that treat others like chopped liver, and I make it a point not to make other people feel that way. Like I never want to make someone feel like they're chopped liver.
All the things that you don't know, the things that you don't know, baby. I won't be treated like chopped liver by anyone. Not my man, not my friends, and it goes for fam too. If you don't see me, I don't see you.
You don't see me, I don't see you. And I mean that. My man, my friends, family. Anybody treat me like chopped liver? Okay. I'm gonna make you own that.
The hope you don't know. The love you fake to those. The hope you don't know. The love you fake to those. The pain you don't know. The dreams that I won't show. The hope you don't know. The love you fake to those. The pain you don't know. The dreams that I won't show.
The dreams that I won't show. If I can't trust you, you've disappointed me continuously. I'm not about to tell you my hopes and dreams.
Who's your priority if it's not me? Who's got seniority if it's not me? Where are you when things are happening? What happened to pre-planning? A text here and there thinking that'll keep me hooked. By the time you get back, baby, I'm already booked.
Yeah, just want to text me here and there, like in your downtime, and think that's going to be enough to leave me waiting. By the time you get back, I'm already booked. On to the next.
You keep posting on social media, but yet my messages say read. Let it happen twice, and I'll meet you like you're dead.
I can forgive once we get to twice. nice for real. Like, and there's no strikeout 3 times.
This ain't a one-way conversation. You wrote me first. I was just replying back, trying to play busy, sweetie. That's whack. I don't have to play busy. I stay busy.
I don't have to play busy. I stay busy. Hence the last song we just heard, Workaholic. Like, I'm always doing something. No time goes to waste.
Yeah, I get it. You're keeping your options open, but if I can't trust your word and your promises are broken, for me and you, sorry, there's no hope then. We can't take back the words once it's spoken. There's been too many cancellations at the last minute. I just spend my time with someone else who's feeling it. I've got real things set in motion, real gigs, real money and promotions. Find me in a city or catch me in the ocean. How long have you been suffering from memory loss? You barely remember anything I told you. I'm lost. When I say lost, we're talking a point of no return. I can forget too. No need
I can forget too. No need for your concern.
Oh, but you remember me when you want something, though.
Oh, you remember now because you want something.
That's the best way for me to say goodbye instead of hello. The hope you don't know, the love you fake to those, the pain you don't know, the dreams that I won't show. We've been, over the past few weeks, looking at different songs that I have written, recorded, produced, and engineered. We've looked at different genres of my music, and pretty much you can break my music down into 7 genres or topics. We have fun songs, flirty and sensual, self-love, breakup, life and family, love songs, and talk-ish songs.
Next up, For Life. Ooh, this is a hard one for me. So, like I told you, my grandma just died last year, Thanksgiving. The previous year before that, my dad died on Mother's Day. So, coming up, one of the songs from a new album called A and B, I'm going to talk about how hard it's been this past 2 years. From dad dying on Mother's Day to his mom dying the next year on Thanksgiving Day. It's basically making me, and you'll hear the lyrics in the song A and B, it's making me say RIP to the holidays. Like, I don't want to celebrate holidays, and I'm starting to dread them because major people in my life keep dying. So this particular song, For Life, it had just come out on the Something Real Volume 1 album. I released that like March or April of that year. And then Dad died in May, right after his birthday, like a week after his birthday. So the first funeral that I ever planned was my dad's funeral. I didn't know anything about funerals, but I had to just step up. So I did the photos, the slideshow, everything for it. So when I went up to do my eulogy, I played a snippet of For Life at the funeral for Dad. This song, it just came out like the month before, so he did get to hear it before dying. And then of course now, fast forward to Grandma dying, she was there at the funeral, so she got to hear and see it as well, you know. But for me right now, the biggest part is, if there's somebody that means something to you, tell them right now, you know. So I'm about to throw a party for my mom. For my album release, the next day I'm throwing a party for Mom, and so I'm going to perform some of her favorite songs for her. But it's not just about performance. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of things for her because I really want to celebrate Mom, you know, losing Dad, losing Grandma. I can't lose anybody else. And definitely, I want them to know how much they mean to me. But so you'll hear a little bit of just the way I try to honor everybody in this song, For Life.
Have you ever met that special someone where you just stare at them and you're like, yeah, I want this for life. I can listen to you all day, even during the times when I don't agree with you. I still love your voice because you're mine.
And I really mean that. Like, I could just listen to their voice all day. It doesn't matter about if we're not in agreement or not. They're mine, you know? They're who made me.
Mine, you're mine, mine. Get me right for life. Get me right for life. Gotta get what's mine. That's right. That's right. It's all about me for life. Gotta get mine for life. Mama, thank you for always making a way out of no way. You taught me how to fundraise for big school trips like the one to Chicago and all the gifted and talented days.
So, Mom, as the first strong woman I ever knew, you know, growing up, we were poor, and I was in all the advanced classes. So early on, I won a trip. We played the stock market game, and I won a trip to Chicago. It cost a pretty penny to go to Chicago because we were going to stay in hotels and go to all these special places. So that's going to take like a lot of money. And I remember thinking, how am I going to afford to be able to do this? And Mom, she was a home health care nurse. She did that job by day and then 2 or 3 more side jobs, and she got the money together for me to be able to do that. And just every year from then on, every whatever special thing I won or was a part of, she always found a way to make it happen. So she's the one that taught me about fundraising.
Gave me my first taste of engineering. I remember recording you singing "The Lord is blessing me." You've always been a blessing to me.
She also, like, she used to love this song, "The Lord is Blessing Me." And I remember having my little microphone and recorder and recording her singing it right there in the living room. So who knew? But that was my first taste of engineering way back then as a little kid.
Me when my blood betrayed me. Mama, thank you for saving me. I love you for life. Grandma, you're the one who gave me my name. To all my talent shows and pageants, you came.
My grandma named me. Like, the name Chantel, it's becoming more common now. But, you know, growing up all through school and in the whole town, there was no other Chantel. So I like having a name that's pretty, but that also is unique. And there's not that many other people with that same name. You know, it's unique, but it's not weird. It's still pretty. And my grandma named me.
Together we enjoyed Bible studies and crosswords. Thank you for all your wise words. Thank you.
She also taught me how to write with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but growing up in school, when she was school age, they had a limited amount of kids they could accept into the schools. And so if you were left-handed, you weren't chosen for school like the first few years. And so she remembered how important that was, and she taught herself how to write with her right hand. So I think she might have actually been born left-handed. But anyway, from then on, all of her kids and her grandkids, she wanted them to know how to write with both hands, because you never know when the system might change, right? So even though I was born right-handed, she taught me how to write with my left hand, and it ended up coming in handy because at age 7, I almost died. I had double pneumonia, and I was in the hospital for a few weeks, and I had the IV in my right hand. So I had to do my homework with my left hand, and it came in handy knowing how to write with your left hand, you know, and I owe that all to my grandma.
Also giving me my first real silver cutlery. For my first place, I laid out elegant lace.
My first apartment I got, she gave me real silverware, you know, not the little fake silver that you can bend. No, like real sterling silver with some weight, you know, engraved with the last name on it. So I'm always going to keep that.
It's fancy, and I always felt loved. Send all the pictures of me in your living room and all my artwork all over your dining room. To my bro, I've been proud of you since the beginning. I remember when you wowed the crowd with your dancing and won a trophy. No practice, no nerves, no routine, just 1, 2, 3. I love how you always been fearless, how you taught yourself to swim mid-splash while jet skiing. I'll admire you for life. Daddy, I forgive you for the past. Luckily, the 2nd through 4th quarters have been a blast. I remember how your cars always had the best music. Thank you for taking me fishing.
Yeah, like, Dad and I came a long way. When I was a little kid, we argued a lot, but from adulthood on, like, he's been my best friend, you know. And even during like the bad times, he still was a father. He still taught me, you know, a lot of things, especially sports related things, how to shoot a gun. We went fishing. I we would race our bikes. I was the only girl in the neighborhood my age. So like any other girls were like way younger than me or way older. So all the neighborhood boys, you know, a lot of times would want to race me. And then it was an adrenaline rush to be able to beat the boys, you know, to be not only the fastest girl, but faster than all the boys. And then after I'd smoked them in racing, then we go play Barbies and paper dolls or whatever. But, you know, when we got bored with racing physically with our legs, we'd get our bikes out. And so Dad taught me a little trick where you take a balloon, blow it up, and put it in between the spikes. And so then when you're riding your bike, when you're going fast, it sounds just like a motorcycle. So that was just a little cool thing that he taught me and we did.
Teaching me to shoot with the rifle BB guns. You helped me to beat the neighborhood boys, make them all my sons. I love how we put balloons in the spikes of my racing bike, and I zoomed past the finish line sounding like a motorcycle. So cool. Yeah, that's Disco, family for life. Gotta get what's mine. That's right. That's right.
So that's for life. Next up is another hard one called Memories. So you're going to miss the first verse, which is my first job. But then the next verse is about my cousin. So to hear the full song, go to Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you can stream. You'll be able to hear the full lyrics.
To my beautiful cousin, you were my first friend. You were my sister to the end. My first phone call and pen pal letters. We went from playing with our first dolls together to buying our first bras together. Our summer sleepovers swapped out.
We literally did everything together. She was 2 years older than me, but I mean, you couldn't even tell. We just grew up like sisters.
2 weeks at my house, then 2 at yours. Me and more. I remember.
She didn't live in the same town as me, so I looked forward to coming, like spending the summers at her house and then her coming to mine. She'd want to meet all my friends. I'd want to meet all hers. And then it was kind of cool to swap crushes too, you know, like, so who's cute in your town? Who's cute in your school? You know, just good memories.
Ice cream maker and board games. Life just ain't the same. Life just ain't the same. We talked about our crushes and our dreams as we were growing up. Why did that idiot have to be drinking and driving, speeding and texting? One combination was bad enough.
So here we go again with the holidays. She died Friday after Thanksgiving. She was on her way home from church. So she's in car number 1. Her husband and kids in car number 2, and some idiot is drinking and driving, speeding, and bends down to pick up their phone and runs the light and T-bones her. So she died right there with the kids and her husband behind her. They witnessed the whole accident.
She T-boned you right after church with your family following in the car behind you. Your boys were so young, they'll never know the woman that I knew. How wonderful you were. The only person I ever met with a heart so pure. To my beautiful cousin, you were my first.
The only person I ever met with a heart so pure. And I mean that for real. Because if you've listened to my breakup genres playlist, you know, like in the song Toxic, I'm talking about some former friends. Well, those former friends, there's a reason why they were friends in my life for so long. One of which had this facade that they're like a good girl, church girl, whatever else. And then to learn their true colors, how they're not really angelic. The only true angel I ever knew was my cousin. And now she's gone. She's dead. So it just destroys me that the good people leave.
First friend, you were my sister to the end. Memories of you and me. Racing past the spring trees. Life ain't always what it seems. Time took you away from me. My running shoe with wings. Wishing you could come back to me. Memories of you and me. Chilling in the summer breeze. Summer breeze. Memories of you and me. Racing past the spring trees. Life ain't always what it seems. Time took you away from me.
Time took you away from me.
My running shoe with wings. Wishing you could come back to me. Memories of you and me, chilling in the summer breeze. Summer breeze.
So that's Memories. Next up is No Limits, No Labels. I filmed this one in Louisville, Kentucky, and the guy, the artist is Block Hugga. If you watch, well, coming up when you see the Love Genres playlist, he did a cameo in We Should Be Together. And then the following year, well, that same year, he wanted to do a feature with me, but I was already done with all my songs for that album. And I told him, you know, I wasn't recording anything new for that year. I was spending the rest of the time filming videos and promoting the current album, but I said I'd keep them in mind for the future. So roll around to the next time, when I was working on the new album at the time, I reached back out to see if you want to do a feature, and then this is the one that we did, No Limits, No Labels. So if his face looks familiar, that's why. So here we go. No Limits, No Labels. And just to like set it up, if you know me, you've been on my channel over the years or listening to my songs, I hate labels. I hate when people put people in a box and try to restrict them to this is all you can be, this is all that you are, because there are no limits. There are no labels. Like, we can always surprise ourselves and each other for what we're capable of, you know?
Oh, so this is you all? The only thing that I know is no limits, no labels. No limits, no labels. No question, no fables. No question, no fables.
Let me just rewind it a little bit. Right, hold on. Right there. This is downtown by the waterfront, but a house divided against itself cannot stand. I just love that quote, so that's why I definitely wanted to be over there. And then, man, I really love these pink jeans. I've got to find them. I don't know where I have it at in my closet, but I need those again.
Fables. Don't doubt me, I'm able. Don't doubt me, I'm able.
Don't doubt me, I'm able.
No limits, no labels. Ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no.
Ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies.
Lies. If I wanted you to know, I'll tell you no surprise.
If I wanted you to know, I would tell you no surprise. I mean, shit. If I didn't tell you, you didn't need to know.
I don't see your story, and I ain't on your time. I don't care about your page. So why you screenshotting mine? If I ain't worried about
real true story right there. Like, the ex-friend going through screenshotting my Facebook to see who I'm dating. Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Well, this guy posted this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I wanted you to know, I will tell you. And I don't go on your stories. I'm not checking your timeline, you know? I don't do that. I just write you when I want to know something or call you.
I choose. Why are you so obsessed with me? Some of you meddle too much. Who made you a judge? Focus on yourself. I always had to prove myself. Artistic and scientific, creative and logical, athletic and smart. It's both environmental and biological. There's no limit to the place I've been. No limit to the place I'll go. There's no limit to my shine. No limit to my glow. You'll never put me in a box. I'm not your stereotype, nor your typical. I live up to the hype. There's no limit to the place I've been. No limit to the place I'll go. There's no limit to my shine. No limit to my glow. No limits. No labels. No limits. No labels. No question. No fables. No question. No fables. Don't doubt me, I'm able. Don't doubt me, I'm able. No limits, no labels.
He's about to kill it. Watch this.
There ain't no limits, there ain't no labels. Where's the truth? I only hear fables. Had to disconnect.
You saw that footwork though, right?
Okay, you suck to me, heartbreaks, they can be fatal. From the other side, and they hate you. Force your hand, sometimes they make you. All these opps who made the break. You cry for help, nobody is saying them niggas is not my friends. They sus, I cannot trust, I know they just pretend. They try to label me, they wanna box me in. But ain't no limits with me and my niggas, we locked on in. We locked on in. If it ain't about that money, then it's in discussion. We done killed
If it ain't about that money, let's end discussion.
our competition, done killed all their assumptions. We ain't worried about nothing, there's a lot of more hits coming. My consistency, my energy is back, what's keep me buzzing. Yeah.
No limit, now it's your turn.
No limits, no labels, no limits, no labels. So that's my song. Well, let me go ahead and let you hear. Let me just let it keep going.
No question, no fables. No question, no fables. Don't doubt me, I'm able. Don't doubt me, I'm able. No limits, no labels. I'm allergic to boxes. What more can I give? I'm allergic to labels. The remedy is live and let live. No need for interrogation. I don't need a quiz or a test. Close the investigation. You know the rest.
I don't need a quiz or a test.
Some people have talent and others work hard.
Some people have talent and others work hard.
Blessed you can do both. Upgrade your skills card. Don't worry about what shade of brown my skin is. I'm strong because I had to be.
And I mean that, like, so many times everybody is talking about light skin versus dark skin. We're all black, so it doesn't matter. So stop worrying about what shade of brown my skin is.
I earned every credential. I don't need some Karen resenting me. It's not my.
And then back on the Karens. It's happened a lot in my career, like where people are mad that I'm smarter, that I pick up skills faster, and then they resent like my position. But I earned this. If you want it, you got to put that same work in. And you'll hear more about this in my new song from the new album, Sacrifice.
Fault. I do it better than you ever could. You don't have to label me wrong. Prove yourself right. We can both win.
You don't have to label me wrong to prove yourself right. We can both win. This ain't a fight.
This ain't a fight. No limits. No limits. No labels. No labels. And if you like what you're seeing, become a member.
Okay, next up on the life and family is fans versus stands.
We can be friends. We can be real friends. You can be my fan, but you can't be my stand. We can be.
So if you see this blue shirt that I'm wearing with the skull, that's All Love, No Trust. Love, L-U-V. And if you remember Lex from, well, you'll see Lex on my song on the Talkish playlist, Money Moves, Lex 859. This is his clothing line. So I always love to support other artists and what they're doing. So here we go.
Be friends. We can be real friends. You can be my fan, but you can't be my stand. Tell me why sometimes strangers show you more love than the ones that know.
Why do strangers show you more love than the ones that know you?
More love than the ones that know you. They do what they're supposed to. Liking your photos and your videos, sharing your.
They like the photos, they like the videos, they share the posts, they buy the merch. But then, like, your people you went to school with or that you see every day, you can't even get them to like or share your post. I'm not even saying buy the song, stream it. Can you share a post?
Your posts and attending shows, streaming your music and rocking the merch. My friendship comes with perks. If I make it, they will definitely claim about how well they know me.
Oh yeah. So if I made it though, if I made it, then it's like, oh yeah, I knew her. Oh, that's my bestie.
To that time, how about you show me? We can be friends. We can.
So like, you know, I'm a musicaholic. So as I'm talking about the whole fans versus stands, if you watch the video, I'm showing photos from me at different concerts and different events that I was in. So that's Vito right there. If you know him, and he's a R&B singer from Atlanta. Well, I don't know if he's from Atlanta, but he's in Atlanta.
Be real friends. You can be my fan, but you can't be my stand. We can be friends. We can be real friends. my fan, but you can't be my stan.
You can be my fan, but you can't be my stan. Don't be fake liking stuff and then hating on the love.
We can be friends. We can be real friends. You can be my fan, but you can't be my stan. I want a friend to party with, sip some Bacardi with, dress like a Barbie with.
I want a friend to party with, to dress like a Barbie with.
To wake up tardy with. I need fans who promote me, to nominate and vote me, who do the most for me. When asked who's the GOAT, me, what is a stand? An overzealous fan, or a fear of missing out friend that you
A fear of missing out friend.
can't depend. I don't need either one. If we're gonna be friends, it's gonna be real. Deal or no deal. Deal or no deal. No time for appeals. You can be my fan. You can be my fan, but you can't be my stand. But you can't be my stand. We can be friends. We can be real friends. You can be my fan, but you can't be my stand. We can be friends.
So that's fans versus stands.
Let me stop sharing for a minute. I want to go back over to the studio and plug my Cash App. Hey, if you're liking what you're seeing, you're liking the videos, want me to keep churning out some more, show some love and give your girl a donation. And my Cash App, it's $ Cherokee. So CHEROK with a 3. Let's see. Before we continue, I also want to tell you about where you can find me. All of my music is on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Deezer.
Title.
And you just type in Shantelly Lace. So that's SHANTELLY Lace, LACE. And you can find me there. You can also find me on Instagram at Shantelly_Lace. On TikTok at Shantelly_Lace. And then Facebook, it is Shantelly, SHANTLLY Lace, LAC, and then a 3 instead of the E. And then lastly, on Twitter or X, Tellyvizzle, TELLYVIZZLE. So yeah, let's continue.
Okay, next up, like I said, this is the life and family. So this next song is American Struggle. You probably never see me perform it, but it's still just something that was on my heart. Yeah, I just hate the American struggle. The things, especially that Black Americans have had to endure. It feels like we've had the weight of everybody on our backs. And, you know, we don't just fight for ourselves. We fight for Asian Americans, Hispanics, even white Americans. We fight for equality for everybody. But then sometimes it feels like there's no one fighting for us, you know. So this is just my narration of some things we've endured and the unfairness.
So many things going through my mind. This is a hard one to put words to. But I've got to say something. Something has to change.
Like, look at this photo. Them marching, and it says, "I am a man," and then it's got the soldiers with the guns pointed at them. Like, can you imagine living in the 1950s and 60s, going through this time period where you're just trying to help people to see you as a human being, you know? Horrible.
American struggle is killing.
The bus boycotts. You are paying to ride a bus just like everyone else, and then they force you to sit in the back. And then if there's not enough room, you have to get up or get off the bus, even though you paid full amount just like everyone else.
It's supposed to be the land of the free. There's been too much pain and suffering. It's been our awful history. American struggle is killing me. When will it truly be the land of dreams? There's no more pain and suffering. We got to learn from our history. American struggle.
When will it truly be the land of the free, the land of dreams?
When I read about the past, it broke my heart. September 3rd, 1944, Reese Taylor, only 24 years old, was kidnapped and gang raped by 6 men. After walking home from church in Alabama, the state.
She was walking home from church and got gang raped. And then it took this many years for justice.
It's 67 years to give her an apology in 2011. August 28, 1955, Emmett Till, a 14-year-old from Chicago, is falsely accused of flirting, then lynched in Mississippi. The two men were acquitted of kidnapping and murder.
And then the lady that lied right before she died, she ends up admitting that she made up the whole thing.
Mother held an open coffin funeral to expose the world to the injustice of her son's bloated, mutilated body. It was shown in Time magazine. 62 years later, the accuser admits that she lied in 2017. Why are there no punishments for a liar? 4 years after Emmett was lynched, Billie Holiday was handcuffed while she lay dying in her hospital bed on July 17, 1959. She had been harassed and entrapped for years for singing her 1939 Strange Fruit anti-lynching song. The war on drugs stance was the excuse. The war on drugs has used the 13th Amendment to implement modern-day slavery with the profitable prison industrial.
So look at that. Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, where the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction. So pretty much, you just trump up some charges, and then that can justify slavery in the prison system. So I'm talking about the innocent people, or the people that got a punishment that didn't fit the crime. It's just an excuse to have them in the prisons, you know? So think about all the falsely accused. We're not talking about the murderers that clearly killed somebody. We're not talking about the R word people. I'm talking about all the ones that are just like with trumped up charges, something like marijuana, you know, where now it's free, it's legal in certain states, but there's still all the ones that are incarcerated for it. There's no changes to their charges.
Complex. Why does the U.S. only have 5% of the world's population, yet holds 25% of the world's prisoners?
5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners? Don't sound right.
Since the 1970s, incarceration has went up, even though crimes have gone down.
Incarceration has went up, but crimes have went down? It's not matching up.
Fred Hampton, at only 21 years old, his Black Panther Party brokered a truce between Chicago gangs. Yet, the powers that be had him drugged and assassinated on December 4th, 1969.
If you've watched that movie, that was rough. That was hard. I mean, it's rough to watch the movie, but imagine in real life that this happened. Like, it's just emotional, everything we've been through.
American struggle is killing me. It's supposed to be the land of the free. There's been too much pain and suffering. It's been our awful history. American struggle is killing me. When would it truly be the land of dreams? No more pain and suffering. We gotta learn from our history. But there's still suffering even in my lifetime.
So now I'm getting into my lifetime, because all the other stuff I just said was before I was born. So this is what I've been dealing with in my lifetime.
On February 26, 2012, a 17-year-old boy was walking back to his father's neighborhood with his Skittles and Arizona iced tea. I listened to the dispatcher's call audio of Trayvon Martin's scream. He was stalked and murdered by a 28-year-old man.
When I heard the call, I think it was the neighbor calling, saying what they're witnessing, and Trayvon is screaming. But then in court, the killer's mom was going to say she thought that was her 32-year-old son screaming. You can clearly hear it's a boy. Just horrible.
That SUV for
And then he gets away with it.
a hoodie on a rainy night. I'm haunted by the videos I've seen. Nothing has changed. It's just that now we have camera phones and CCTV to document it. July 6, 2016, Philandro Castile killed in a traffic stop in St. Paul, Minnesota, in front of his girlfriend and 4-year-old daughter.
That's another one, like another video that haunts me. You know, they tell him to get his registration. He reaches for it. He said he did what he complied, because we're supposed to comply, right? So he complies and then gets shot right there in front of this kid.
complying and reaching for his ID. July 5th, 2016, Alton Sterling slammed to the ground and shot dead at close range in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Then I just learned in this case right here with Alton Sterling, when the police arrived, they weren't even there for him. They came for a different call, but then went to him instead. And he was doing what he always does, like with cigarettes and everything.
Louisiana, June 20th, 2018, Lissandro Jr. Guzman Feliz, a 15-year-old victim of mistaken identity, hacked in the neck with a machete in the...
They were looking for someone else and mistaken him. And I mean, you can see where he's trying to jump over the counter to get help, but the poor worker didn't know what was going on and was trying to hold him back. And then they drug him out of there.
Bronx by a gang of 5. They dragged him out of the bodega when he tried to flee to safety. February 23rd, 2000.
And then this one, oh my goodness. For the 2 guys chasing him and then the third guy following. It's just hard to see when he drops to the ground.
2020, Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old jogger, chased and murdered by...
People jog every day and then he has to get killed for it. Like, and this isn't just a race thing. Like, my heart hurts when I hear about white female joggers jogging and somebody comes and attacks them. It hurts the same way. Just so uncalled for.
3 men in 2 trucks in Brunswick, Georgia. Exercise should be deadly. March 13th, 2000.
So when I say this isn't race related, yeah, they targeted him because of race, but I'm saying I care either way. I care for everybody.
2020, Breonna Taylor, killed from a no-knock warrant break-in in Louisville, Kentucky. Your home should be your safe haven and sanctuary.
Why did they blow through her door and shoot and kill her for no reason when she wasn't a criminal?
25th, 2020, a man knelt on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds in Minneapolis.
So this clip right here, when they show him kneeling on his neck and they show it for 9 minutes straight, you know, you might have to zoom in or whatever else. I saw the light go out of his eyes. You could see his spirit leaving. And until I saw my dad die, I had never witnessed death like that before, you know. I lost a lot of friends because I remember on Facebook, certain people were like posting that they don't think it's real or they don't think it's what they saw, whatever else. No, that was real. And that was murder.
Onlookers filmed and begged for him to stop. I watched the light drain from his eyes and saw the evil behind the murderer's eyes. Conspiracy theorists called it a creepy transfer of energy.
And yeah, if you watch it as you're seeing him die and his spirit leaving, look into the killer's eyes. It's something dark in their eyes, like a blackness that takes over. It's definitely a transfer of energy in a negative light.
June 15th, 2020, Alawatan Salau, a homeless 19-year-old activist in Tallahassee, Florida, was raped and killed. She protested for men who had been wrongfully killed, but who was there to protect her?
And a lot of times, us as Black women, we're always like protesting for everybody else, stepping up for everybody else, but rarely is anyone stepping up for us. And I'm getting so tired of it.
American struggle is killing me. It's supposed to be the land of the free. There's been too much pain and suffering. It's been our awful history. I dream of America with no more struggle, all love and no more trouble. Truly, America the beautiful, a life that's renewable. Praying for America with no more struggle, all love and no more trouble. Truly, America the beautiful, a life that's renewable.
So that's my song, American Struggle. The next one is OTSD. Other trauma stress disorder. A lot of times you hear people talk about PTSD, having post-traumatic stress disorder. This is other traumatic stress disorder. So it just basically comes, it's basically another type of PTSD. It can come from, it's more of like usually PTSD is something like major big happened and now you're traumatized by it, versus OTSD comes over time. It's just all the little pieces adding up. So more long lasting effect, and it kind of creeps up on you in a surprising way where you don't understand why is this happening, versus PTSD you can almost understand it quicker and it can be diagnosed easier.
OTSD, the makings of me. OTSD, you can never break me. Gotta get out, figure it out. I'm making it out. Gotta get out, figure it out. I'm making it out. OTSD. Let me know this tip. Have you ever gone to school with a busted lip given to you by a grown ass man?
Have you ever gone to school with a busted lip given to you by a man? I have. Yeah, and, you know, for all the kids to see me at school with that busted lip, and it was so bad, like an extra flap of skin was hanging over it. I couldn't even close my mouth. It was just hanging out, and I thought my lip would never go back to normal. And for years following that, you could still see like the indentation. And basically, it was from when I got punched. My bottom teeth went into my gum.
I had to learn quick to use my hands. One girl tried to laugh at me, thought I was weak. It's survival of the fittest, no time for sheep. Bitch tried to punk me and push me off the bleachers, so I took her down with.
Going to school like that made me a target. And I mean, I already was shy, I already would get bullied a little bit. And so I had a few friends that I would talk to, some guy friends, during intramurals, which intramurals is basically after lunch, we had like 20 minutes where you can play basketball, volleyball, whatever's going on before your next class. And so those that didn't want to play, you can go sit on the bleachers and watch the game, talk to your friends. So I was over talking to my friends, and then I guess this girl, she had failed into our grade, and she ended up falling into her grade mid-semester. I don't know how that works, but anyway, and so she, I guess, was interested in one of the guys, and I mean, I didn't like them like that. They were just my buddies or whatever, and so she was showing off a little bit. And since there was already like a mark on me for being a wimp, I guess, in some people's eyes because of the busted lip, which had nothing to do with school, but she thought I'd be somebody she could, you know, bully and make a scene with. And so anyway, when I went over to talk to my friends, she started being disrespectful. I get up to leave, and then as soon as I stood up, she stood up, and she's like 6 foot tall, you know. I'm 5'5", so I mean, she's definitely taller than me. I'm not short, but I'm shorter than her. And then plus she's the bleacher above me. So she stood up after I stood up, and I'm going ahead to turn, and right when I go to turn, she pushes me. But I always had this habit of like looking out of the corner of my eye, so I saw when she was going to push for me. I didn't have enough time to do much because keep in mind she's above me, so when she pushes, it's already gonna have the bleacher below me, you know, by my feet to trip me. Like, so all I could do in that amount of time was grab her and take her with me. And then, you know, unfortunately, I watch a lot of martial arts movies, and so, you know, as she when she pushed me and I grabbed her, I turned in midair and we landed, bam. And I can remember that thud, and it was just like they were in the middle of playing volleyball, and everybody just stopped to look around, and I landed on her and just started punching. I mean, it was a natural reaction. And that was my second school fight I think I had. Well, the other one was on the bus, so this is my first fight at school. But like I said, I was a target where everybody thought I'd be the punching bag, and so I just was not going to have that because I knew I have to nip this in the bud. And so anyway, I don't know how many punches, but they one of my friends, Seneca, he was across on the opposite side of the bleachers, and he said he saw the whole thing, and he said I was just, I mean, I do remember being on top of her. I had a little watch. I remember my watch snapping off. And the two PE teachers at the time, one guy, one female, they come running and pulled us apart. And she's just like screaming, calling me B word, like every name in the book, just flailing around on the ground, making a big scene. And I was quiet. I was dead quiet. And so I believe it was the male PE teacher. He walked me over to like the corner side, and then they were both trying to calm her down. So he told me, stay here. And he runs back over to calm her down. And Seneca said I just took my hair, because I would always usually wear my hair in a ponytail. So I just took my hair and pulled it back, fixed my ponytail. And at some point I looked around and noticed that my watch was missing. And so I was kind of just scanning, looking for the watch. And that's all I could really take in. And I was just like kind of calming myself down. But to anybody watching it, it would just probably be like, dang, she's nonchalant, like she don't care. I did care, but just had to focus, right? And so anyway, they take us into the principal's office and asked us what happened and stuff. And at some point somebody gave me my watch, and I still, when I noticed my watch, it was all scruffed up. So that made me angry. And anyway, so they ended up letting us go back to class. And then when we went back to class, my teacher, who ended up being my track coach later in life, I'm a good girl, right? He wanted to know, why did I get in a fight? And I didn't want to talk about it, because I didn't fully understand what had happened really myself. And I just didn't want to talk about it, because when you talk about things, it can make you tear up. Well, he was refusing to not let me talk about it. So he kind of bent my hand back to make me talk. And then I ended up telling him. And I don't even know what the point of that was, because I don't think he did anything about it. But anyway, like the next period, I was out at my locker. I had the bottom locker. And so I go to like get some stuff out of my locker, and here she comes. She wasn't in my class. She was in a different class, but we all have that same 7th grade hallway of lockers. And so she came by, and it was a big audience again. And so she's like, yeah, she basically threatened that she was gonna get me after school. She's gonna finish up after school or whatever. And so everybody's just like staring, like, what is Chantel gonna do, kind of thing. But I knew you have to face your fears, and I was scared. I had never planned to fight. She's bigger than me. But I knew, like, to just be scared, the whole rest of the year will go this way, and I can't have that. So I did what I knew to do. I looked her dead in her eyes, and when she said she knew where I lived and she's gonna get me after school, I said, I hope you do know we ride the same bus. And everybody was like, dang, or whatever. And then from there, like, she ended up calling her mom and having her pick her up. And she didn't ride the bus that day. And then the next day she brought me Snickers, because like Snickers was my favorite candy bar at the time. And every day, no exaggeration, the rest of the school year, she brought me a snack and kissed my for the rest of the school year. So it worked out good. But the point is, I put it in the song about a girl trying to push me off the bleachers.
With me, let her taste the Snickers. My ex-boyfriend was a disgrace. That's why I had another spit in my face.
Whew. So fast forward a few years, first serious boyfriend. We're dropping my mom off in the middle of nowhere, like at her boyfriend's house. He lived like in the middle of the woods somewhere. And heading back, the dude just gets mad as we're driving. I don't even know what he's mad about. But I can't take too much talking smack, so I just stood up for myself, whatever he's talking about. He didn't like that I was like standing up for myself, so he ended up spitting in my face. And like, have you ever watched probably if you haven't watched, you might have seen clips on TikTok or whatever of like Flavor of Love when Pumpkin spits in New York's face? Oh my gosh, that's the closest equivalent, but it was worse. It was all over my face. It felt like green slime. I mean, it probably wasn't, but it felt like green or gray slime all over my face. It stunk. I could smell it. And that was just torture for me. Like, but we were in the middle of nowhere in the woods. He's driving, so it's not like I could fight him back and we wreck on the road or whatever. It took everything in me to first off, smell that. Secondly, to not retaliate. But I told myself as soon as we get parked, he's getting it. And yeah, needless to say, that was a long car ride home. We got home and I got out of the car and he was like marching up to my apartment thinking he's gonna come in there and dominate or whatever, right? And so he was a little bit ahead of me heading up to the apartment, and I just sprinted up the courtyard and jumped him. I did a jump kick, kicked him right in his back, stomped him to the ground, and well, let's not continue with that. But got on in the house, locked the door, and that was the end. So we broke up from there. But horrible.
Once out the car, I dropped to get him in his back so he couldn't enter my house and continue to attack. If you hurt me, you're gonna hurt too. Eye for an eye is how.
If you hurt me, you're gonna hurt too. Eye for an eye. I definitely believe that.
We do, boo. All my life I had to fight for respect, safety, and what's right. If I can make it out, you can too. Find the strength that's inside you. We are not what they do to us. Their ignorance doesn't define us.
Their ignorance doesn't define us.
OTSD, the makings of me. OTSD, you can never break me. Gotta get out, figure it out. I'm making it out. Gotta get out, figure it out. I'm making it out. OTSD. Some people stay together for financial reasons. However, that was not my season. Waking up in a house with no power. In the dark, taking cold showers. I had to make a way out of no way. Surviving off 1 meal a day. Weekly shopping, saving like 5 for 25 just to stay alive. I work 2.
Yeah, like so many times people want to stay together just because of financial reasons. I can't do it. I can't stay in a toxic situation and we stay suffering. Like I'm working 1 or 2 jobs. You're blowing your money for whatever reasons. And like our utility bill is our energy bill, like all that's just skyrocketing and there's no help. So yeah, that was torture for me. So that was probably the worst relationship I was ever in. Well, no, it's the worst relationship I was ever in. But let's wrap it up for the life and family. I'm sorry guys that I got emotional. It's just kind of rough. But this last one is the Ville. And this one, I named it the Ville for 3 reasons. It's a play on words, but basically each town that I've lived in has had the Ville in its name. So like my family's from Louisville. So here we go.
This is a dangerous group that we're dealing with now.
The sun shines bright in Kentucky, home of the greatest and the luck. Fried potatoes and salmon patties is how I got my fatty. Skinny with a booty, growing up in a small town helped me to shine. My parents taught me to rise and to grind. I never try to do anything, I just do it. Opportunity is always knocking, so be ready for it.
I never try to do anything, I just do it. Opportunity is always knocking, so be ready for it.
These are weird times we're living in. The media trying to make it black versus blue, trying to tell us what to do and whether we should.
And yeah, just for clarity, wrapping back up to the American Struggle song, I don't want you to think I'm black versus blue. Like, it's not that at all. I know there's good police. I know there's bad police.
To build a wall. What we need to remember is either united we stand or else divided we fall.
United we stand or divided we fall. We can't be divided. We are all Americans.
America's a melting pot, a beautiful blend of different cultures. It's time to embrace it and stop acting like vultures. Let's keep it mellow. No more white, black, red, or yellow. To be honest, we were all real.
Look at that. There's no more white, red, brown, or yellow. We are all really shades of brown. If you look at that, all those are shades of brown. Even the fairest one.
Really shades of brown. When the world is going crazy, I choose the right to express. We can't resolve everything overnight, so I dance to relieve the stress. When the world is going crazy, let's all dance to express how we're tired of fuss and a fight. It's time to realize we are all truly blessed. I never try to do anything. I just do it. Opportunity is always knocking, so be ready for it.
I never try to do anything. I just do it. Opportunity is always knocking, so be ready for it. Let me quit sharing my screen now. So, thank you guys so much for going on this journey with me through the genres, the fun songs, the flirty, self-love, break up, life and family, love, and then we wrapped it up with talk-ish. That is 62 songs you have listened to with me. Stay tuned because March 7th, Television Volume 3 comes out, and there will be 13 more songs that I want you to enjoy. 75 songs I've knocked out in 5 years' time. Wow, and I have more in the vault. So if you have not clicked like yet, click like on this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and I will see you soon. I love you. Stream Shantelly Lace music. Subscribe to the channel. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
To my beautiful cousin, you were my first friend. You were my sister to the end. My first phone call and pen pal letters. We went from playing with our first dolls together to buying our first bras together. Our summer sleepover swapped out. 2 weeks at my house, then 2 at yours. Me and more. I remember the ice cream maker and board games. Life just ain't the same. Life just ain't the same. We talked about our crushes and our dreams as we were growing up. Shantelly.